got there. I suppose when he arrived, I was still a little upset.
I couldn't believe how long it took it to get here. I guess you could say I was a little shocked. I mean, we sent news well beforehand.
Jesus called for me, so I leapt up and ran to him. He was with Martha, the tomb where Lazarus was, and a whole crowd of people had gathered there to see what was happening.
So I was a little concerned about the smell when he asked to open up the tomb, but Jesus was very reassuring.
He said, "Lazarus, come out." And he did.
It was a miracle. But then the crowd stuck around and got bigger.
It was strange hearing what the people were saying about Jesus, worrying about the rumors that the Pharisees were spreading about him. We were all worried.
Jesus laid low for a while, but he came about a week before Passover to stay with us. His disciples came too. There were so many people here.
I didn't mind the people, of course, but Martha was getting a little bit twitchy.
Okay, is it wrong to want to clean up someone else's house? I mean, there were a whole bunch of men staying with Simon messing up the place. Not to mention that the crowd outside was squatting everywhere.
I knew our time with Jesus would be short, and I wanted to show how much I loved him. I felt the best gift I could offer was a small bottle of perfume I've been holding on to. It was by far my most prized possession.
She just came into the room and poured her most expensive perfume over Jesus' head and continued to wash his feet with it. Then she used her hair to wipe it up. I've never seen my sister do something so selfless. I'll never forget it.
Years wages down the toilet from that little incident. The smell filled the whole house.
The perfume incident? Awkward.
Jesus saw something in my gift that I hadn't or wouldn't understand for many days to come. In the end, it was the best gift for him.
So, now that we all smelled like women, it seemed like a good time to leave.
It took the whole walk to Jerusalem to get the smell out. I even had to roll in the dirt.
Andrew and myself had no problem getting the donkey and its colt that Jesus had asked for. We were still trying to get the manly muskrat.
We found the colt and its mother just off the road, under someone's doorway.
Andrew made me untie it because he was too chicken.
He said what?
We told them it was for the Lord and that we would bring it back shortly.
And they believed us.
We brought the donkey to Jesus and threw our coats over the colt.
The prophet Zechariah said this would happen. It was hard to believe that this was happening right before our eyes.
Before we knew it, whole crowds of people who had heard the news of Lazarus were throwing their coats on the road and cutting down palm branches and throwing those on the road too.
They were treating Jesus like royalty, saying that he would be our Messiah.
The crowds were shouting, "Hosanna to the Son of David, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord, Hosanna in the highest."
Everything Jesus was saying, all the words the prophets we had read about, were all starting to make sense.
It had been a long day at the temple. Jesus had driven out the merchants and been scorned by the priests. Everything was so confusing. We were glad to go back to Bethany.